We are here with Shannon Miller, former coach of the Canadian national women's ice hockey team. Shannon, thank you so much for doing this with us today.
Well, it's absolutely my pleasure to be here.
Now, you were the first head coach that Canada had when women's hockey was invited to be part of the Olympics. You were responsible for putting that first team together, a lot of veterans who'd been with that team, and you knew that some of the players, if they don't make this team, they're never going to have an Olympic opportunity again. And yet you were responsible for making some tough cuts and letting younger players know who were on the bubble that they had made the team. What was that process like for you?
Well, first of all, it was extremely exciting to be named the Olympic coach for Canada, the first time women's hockey is making its debut at the Olympics, but also a real honor and very exciting to be the only head coach of an Olympic team in the entire world. All the other countries had male head coaches, and so I knew what I was up against, but it was exciting. Making the tough decisions was difficult. That's obviously the most difficult situation I've ever been in. When you've got great players that have played the game for a long time and been great role models to so many of us, but having to tell them that their best just wasn't good enough anymore, even though they were fantastic players in their day, and then putting some younger players on the team. You've got to pick the best team. You have to. You don't look at who's been there before and who's not. You look at that season. You don't look at their age. You look at who's best for right now. But that was very difficult. When you're a compassionate human being, those jobs are not easy.
Now, when you look at women's hockey since that inaugural Olympics, it's had a meteoric rise. It's growing faster than the men's game. What do you see about the sport that has done well, and in what aspects does a sport have to still do better?
Well, I do believe that grassroots girls hockey exploded after the first time it was in the Olympic Games, and that's typical when a sport is in the Olympics. It really encourages kids and parents really to put their kids into sports, so that really helped women's hockey grow, and I agree, you say it.
Meteoric.
Meteoric.
It's a tough word.
It is. I was impressed with that. Rise, and really impressive. Okay. What comes with that, though, are growing pains, and I was around to see all of that, too. Should girls play with boys? Should girls play with girls? So we go through all of that. But nonetheless, you look at Canada and hockey today in Canada, whether you look at the men's side or the women's side, we are the best program in the world on the men's and the women's side. We're the leaders, we're the mentors, and we're leading the way.
And finally, Shannon, it's tougher for girls and for women to be involved in sports. We know that there's salary discrepancies, there's homophobia, there's difference in opportunities, there's a discrepancy there. What would be your advice to a young female player who's looking to follow in your footsteps or follow in the footsteps of a Wickenheiser right now?
Well, first of all, you're going to face a lot of adversity if you're a female playing hockey, even though there's a lot less now today than there was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. If you're looking at transitioning into coaching, you're still going to face a lot of diversity. You're going to experience a lot of diversity and face a lot of adversity. Okay, there is a lot of homophobia in society, unfortunately, and that women's hockey is not immune from that. But when you face adversity, you're going to become stronger, and you'll hear your parents say that to you. You'll hear people like me say that to you, and that's the bottom line: is expect adversity. Embrace diversity and fight through those battles, because there's lots of people cheering for you. They might be behind you, they might be fairly silent, they might not be as public as you are, but they're cheering for you. They want you to fight for them, and it's important to stand up. It's important to speak out, and it's important to fight for your rights.
Fantastic, Shannon. Thank you for all you've done for the sport, and thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you.